For generations, Peter Cushing was the face of horror. He played vampires, monsters, mad scientists, and one of cinema's most unforgettable villains. But behind those cold eyes was a deeply private man whose real life was filled with love, devastating loss, and a career that went far beyond horror. Born in London in 1913, Cushing developed an interest in acting early in life. After working in repertory theater, he eventually moved to Hollywood in the 1930s and appeared in films including The Man in the Iron Mask. But it was British television and Hammer Film Productions that would eventually make him a star. In 1957, Cushing played Victor Frankenstein in The Curse of Frankenstein. The film became a major success and helped establish the Hammer horror style. His partnership with Christopher Lee would become one of the most famous relationships in horror cinema. Cushing followed with Dracula, The Mummy, and numerous other productions. His version of Baron Frankenstein was particularly memorable because he didn't simply play a monster. He played a brilliant man whose obsession slowly destroyed his humanity. But Cushing's personal life was far more heartbreaking. He was devoted to his wife, Helen. The couple had been married since 1943, and she remained the center of his life. When she died from emphysema in 1971, Cushing was devastated. He later described the loss as something he never truly recovered from. Yet he continued working. Cushing returned to the role of Grand Moff Tarkin in Star Wars in 1977. Although Tarkin was very different from his Hammer horror characters, the performance introduced him to an entirely new generation. He continued appearing in films and television throughout the 1980s, even as his health declined. His final film role came in Biggles, Adventures in Time in 1986. Peter Cushing died in 1994 at the age of 81, but his legacy never disappeared. He wasn't simply a horror actor. He was a classically trained performer who brought intelligence, precision, and often surprising humanity to characters that could easily have become caricatures. From Frankenstein to Tarkin, Cushing created villains audiences could never forget. And perhaps that's why his career still feels so extraordinary. The man who spent decades playing monsters was, by all accounts, remembered by those who knew him as remarkably gentle and private. Peter Cushing may have become a legend of horror, but his real story was far more human. If you love forgotten Hollywood stories, like, share, and subscribe to Icon Untold for more.